Hi guys. So my intent in coming on today was to do a couple unboxings, which I am going to do. I'm determined. But in the wake of yet another tragedy in my country, another school shooting, where apparently a former student has shot at least 14. They don't know the amount of deaths yet, but hearing some of the videos from the students who were in that school is unbelievably heartbreaking. As a mother and as an empath, it is just appalling to me that we keep having to do this over and over and over and over. And, other countries don't see this like this. It's just us. That's it. We're all alone in this, in civilized countries. So I'm going to read a couple statistics because I've had it. I have had enough. Last year, handguns killed 48 people in Japan, 8 people in Great Britain, 34 in Switzerland, 52 in Canada, 58 in Israel, 21 in Sweden, 42 in West Germany, and 10,728 in the U.S. The other statistic that I have, this comes from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation, who every year track all deaths and how they happened. And by the way, these statistics, they exclude specifically armed conflict, so those in war and off to war, that kind of thing, accidents. So the kids who accidentally get a hold of a gun and shoot each other, and self-harm. So suicide is not included. In 2016, so the way they did this study was per 100,000 people. So in a country that has a lot of people, it's behooves us to look at the statistics per our population. So per 100,000 people in 2016, El Salvador had 40.29 gun violence deaths. Venezuela, 34.77, Guatemala, 26.81, Colombia, 25.94, Honduras, 20.56, Brazil, 19.34, Virgin Islands, 18.83, Jamaica, 16.45, Bahamas, 14.11, Trinidad and Tobago, 13.03, and the U.S., which I have, 3.85. So you're thinking, oh, look, we're on the low end. All of those countries ahead of us are all really big in the drug trade, and a lot of those deaths, these studies talks about, a lot of those deaths have to do with the drug trade. If you look at other civilized countries in the same study, okay, so Germany, the U.S. had, again, 3.85 per 100,000 people. Germany had 0.12. 0.12. Iceland, 0.07. The UK, 0.07. China, 0.06. Yemen, people, 1.43. Palestine, which includes the West Bank and Gaza, 1.91. Iraq, 4.28. And what this study talks about is that in every other country except for ours, they can predict, based on socioeconomic status, how many gun violence deaths they should have. But if they did that with our country, with the United States, we should have 0.79. That is almost 5 times as little as what we actually have. And all of that is attributed to, as far as I'm concerned, the fact that our country is run by lobbyists who, if they have the money, can buy their way into any laws they want or don't want. And the NRA is the biggest lobbyist we have. And they pay off every lawmaker there is to not have any control over any guns ever. And I'll tell you what, I am a liberal, so yes, I'm probably for more gun control than people who hunt and that kind of thing usually are. But I would settle for some of the most minimum basic gun control laws there is out there, which is let's have universal background checks. You can't go to a gun show and buy a gun that day because you feel like it. You actually have to get checked out first. It kills me that technology has come so far, and yet we cannot use technology to help us with our gun violence deaths. We cannot pick up another person's phone anymore and make a phone call because they have locked it with their fingerprint or a code that only they know. Is there some reason we can't do this with guns, that the gun won't shoot unless you unlock it with your fingerprint? The technology is out there. I've seen it. It's not that expensive. The NRA blocks every single thing. And I'm really, really, really sick of listening to screams of kids in schools because the NRA has decided to buy the lawmakers of my country. So, on to better and brighter, because I can't. I'm furious and upset. So I'm sorry. Let's do something brighter. My husband is the best husband on the planet. I just have to say that. I'm going to call this Spooky Valentine's Tarot Day because this was my Valentine's present, or one of my Valentine's present. If you look at my Instagram account, I'm going to post all of them. But the fact that I got the zombie tarot for Valentine's Day, I'm so excited. And this deck was not on my radar a whole lot. I love this deck. Looking through this deck, I'm just so excited. First of all, it has this little flip book. And you know me, I love vintage stuff. This whole book looks like a little vintage book that came like from the 40s and 50s. And so there is, you know, the meanings of every card. Just so cute, this little flip book. Then it has little ads for zombie products, which I just thought was the cutest damn thing. Conducting a reading. They talk about spreads. They have a couple different zombie kind of spreads. And then the cards themselves, guys, as far as, you know, on a day like today when I really wanted some humor, when everybody kind of really needs some humor, I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm sure a lot of people, this is not a new deck, I'm sure a lot of people have done walkthroughs, but how cute these cards are. For kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of reading, it is just so cute. And the images are very vintage looking images. And they're dark, which, you know, I love my dark tarot decks. They are just adorable. And I was giggling my ass off looking at these cards. And I can't wait to smudge them and do a quick reading with them because they are just so, look at that Justice card. How cute. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Strength. I'm just going to go through the majors really quick. I got the Death card. Temperance. We got the Devil. That was one of my favorites. How cute is that? An old vintage cigarette machine. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. Sun. Judgment, which I loved that card, was so cute. And the World. Just a really, really cute tongue-in-cheek deck. So my husband rocks. He's just awesome. He knows me so well at this point. We have been together. We've been married for 26 years next month, and we've been together for 27 years. So I suppose after that long, you know, you kind of know each other. One of the decks came in that I had bought on my, you know, Confessions of a Tarot Addict spree, which was, yay, the Tarot of Vampires. I really wanted this deck, not only for the deck, which I love a lot more than I thought I was going to, but the book apparently is like one of the best books out there for learning tarot. So, you know, you can't go wrong. The other thing my husband got me is something that I'm going to ask if anybody out there wants to trade, because I already have it, unfortunately. But it is the Celtic Tarot by Christopher Hughes. I love this deck. I use this deck a lot. I thought about maybe keeping it as the second copy in case I wear out one copy, but I don't want to do that. I kind of like when my cards are broken in a little bit, and used a little bit. They feel better and they shuffle better, and I really like it. If you want to take a look, I do have a walkthrough on my channel of the Celtic Tarot. It's a great deck. It's still, I'm not going to open it. It's still in the wrapping. So if anybody wants to trade for this deck, let me know in the comments and I'll email you or something. We'll go back and forth and figure out, you know, a deck that you have that I might trade for. And because I'm happy to, you know, get it to somebody's hands that wants it, that will use it. And I hope everybody has a great Valentine's Day. Just, you know, something tongue-in-cheek and do something fun. My husband and I each took $20 to Goodwill because we both love to vintage shop. And I'll try to do a little video of some of the awesome stuff I got at Goodwill. And we went into CVS and picked out cards for each other and showed them to each other. Look, if I wanted to spend $5 on a card, this card would be for you. And he does the same for me. And we go, oh, isn't that nice? And we put the cards back because I'm not spending $5 on a card. That's silly. So just an idea. I know that's crazy, but my husband and I, like I said, we know each other very well. Love you guys. I hope you're having a better day than I am. Actually, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to set this aside as best I can and just move on. I just really needed to put that out there in the world because as an empath, I tend to internalize this stuff a lot. And if I wanted to sit down and watch the news all night and cry all night, I could do that. And I just can't. It pisses me off and it angers me, but I can't do it. So, blessings to you guys. If anybody wants to trade, let me know. And we'll see you on Saturday.